Welcome to the Midnight Knitters Club. My name is Breanna of Breanna Knits. I am a knitter, a spinner, a new pattern designer, mom, fiance, line cook extraordinaire in the Pacific Northwest. And if any of that sounds familiar, or if you also primarily knit in the middle of the night because that's the only time you get for you right now in this phase of life, then you found a great place to hang out. And I would love it if you would consider subscribing. It really does help the channel. And I know everyone says that, but it's because it's true. So if you enjoy any of this content, the subscription really does go a long way, and I appreciate your support. This is episode 4. This podcast is a traditional podcast where I'm going to cover, obviously not what I'm wearing. I mean, I guess I could talk about it. Anything that I finished, current whips, and there would be acquisitions if I had any. I am wearing my Sacred Sheep sweatshirt from the first year at Sacred Sheep, and it has actually been kind of a wonderful sweatshirt in my wardrobe because this whole span is printed essentially. There are very few tiny little details that are not screen printed, but having had just a tiny baby when I got this, or just after I got it, it was baby proof. So that was nice. It served well in a few different moments with a newborn. So fun little side fact, I guess. Okay, so let's move into finished objects. I'm really excited. I'm gonna have a whole announcement episode, I think, for when I actually release this, but I am planning on releasing this on Halloween. It just feels appropriate, and I think that's what I'm gonna do. So these are the Charlotte socks. This is my most recent finished pair. Oh geez, she's gonna try to balance things again. I hope that didn't get ultra blown out. Ooh. So they have obviously this adorable cable. I've talked about them before, but I am just that excited. Beautiful cable, a little spider on the front and back of the leg, and then the super organic charted web that goes across the top of your foot. And I just love them. I love this version of them. My first version I do have sitting right here. Let me pop those up for a second. My first version is in this kind of wacky color combination in the spirit of Halloween. And I do love them, and I will absolutely be wearing them. I just thought that the pattern should be represented also in something more neutral, just in case you're sitting there like, ow, my eyeballs, that, ew. If that's your reaction, I get it. This is ultra bright green with a very high contrast purple for the cuff and the toe. Let me scooch in here. We've got the spider. Hopefully that's not just getting blown out. How cute is that though? My testers, every time they showed me their spider, this is really my first pattern, and every time I thought about how it might be going, or when I considered checking in with my testers, I was like, oh God, what if they don't like it? What if they're sitting there like, this is an awful pattern? All of the things that they could potentially be thinking that are unsavory and heartbreaking. I definitely mulled over them thinking. And then they all started posting pictures of their finished bits, you know, like at first it was just the leg with their spiders. And it was just like I think it's cute, but then they would post their pictures. I'm like, no, it's even cute when other people do it. So it was fun to watch that happen and see those come through. And to get the feedback that they enjoyed that little spider chart. And then, like I said, the web itself is a lot more organic. Let me look at these. Well, I've seen blockers that go in this direction, and then I guess your heel just folds in some capacity in the back. And I'm like, oh, I should get one of those. Because when I knit something with a motif that's flat on the top of the foot, you can't see it on my wire blockers. Ooh, let me try to fold this. Just give it a little something, a little weight behind it. There we go. That is so much better. Hopefully that's coming through for you. I find out when I edit. I find out when I edit that I've chopped my forehead off, but who needs a forehead, right? But anyway, super organic chart. But it's just kind of fun. Like if you have an afternoon to yourself and you know, your kids are off. Maybe they're playing in a pile of leaves. Let's paint this picture. The kids are outside playing in the leaves. Your husband's mowing the lawn in the backyard. I'm basing this off of my life. Your life could be very different. You've got a hot cup of yummy coffee, blankie, something plaid nearby, like your favorite horror film on the TV, of course. And then just for fun, because we shouldn't forget where we started. Never forget your roots. You might notice that I'm tucking some ends in because I genuinely suck at cutting the ends off. This is where they started. The spiders were up higher on the cuff. Or I'm sorry, up higher on the leg. The cable has stayed the same. And then the web chart, I liked how many spokes, I guess, the original chart had, but it just wasn't working when it came down to the chart I landed on. But this was the original chart for the web, obviously. And clearly wasn't quite right. That's why version 1 birthed version 2, and then came another color. But yes, those are my finished objects. The first two obviously were finished a long time ago, but since my last podcast, I did finish my second of the neutral pair. And I am very excited about them. So there will be an announcement the day that I release the pattern. And I haven't fully made up my mind about how I'm going to move forward with things like tests and announcements, but I do think I might do two things. So I currently have a school class, I guess, school with K, and you are welcome to join that. It's free currently. I mean, there could come a day when I charge for membership, kind of like a Patreon, but right now it's free. So if you want to join my school, I will put a link for that below. And then that will be one of the first places where I go to like recruit testers and announce pattern releases. And then I would like to start an email list but that seems like a lot for me to juggle. And I currently feel like I'm already juggling like 16 running chainsaws. So we'll figure it out. Okay, so we are moving on to whips, and I will actually start with a frog. So in my last podcast, which was really my first episode, I don't know why I call it my last podcast. It was like the get to know me episode, but I shared a like freshly started slip stitch pattern pullover that I was putting together in this like heathered purple yarn. And I kept looking. Okay. Just had a full-on coughing fit. I have had like a scratchy throat, and every once in a while it just feels like a piece of like barbed wire dust. It's like microscopic barbed wire is just like twirling around in my throat, like tucked behind my tonsil or something, and it whew, throws me for a loop. Anyway, so I believe what I was saying is that the sweater that I had started as a new design the last time I shared what I've been working on, I was concerned that it was too similar to the Chantal lineup of knits, and I stand by that. I I feel like I was wasting my energy is what I'm trying to say, I think. So instead of continuing to sit there and question if I should or shouldn't, I'm just not going to. So I frogged it. It's completely undone, put away, and that's fine. And if the day comes when I'm like, man, I would really like to design a slip stitch pattern, then I will. But right now, I've got buckets of pattern ideas. Just like I have to stop what I'm doing sometimes to sit down, and I have the Stitch Mastery, I think is what it's called, the application. And I just pop in there and I build a chart, be it texture or color work, so that I don't forget. So it's easily accessible. And then I have some good ideas. My cat's trying to eat the rest of my nachos. Don't eat that. Now that I feel like I fully collected myself again after nearly dying in my garage so that I wouldn't wake up our children, the next whip that I'm going to discuss is one that I really hope that I can bust out. And I'm doing pretty good. I messaged my friend because we're buddy knitting these, and I was like, hey, if I can knit, I should pull it up, but I can't because my phone is what I film on. I think it was like 25 rows. If I can knit 25 rows a day, then I should have the sweater done in like 2 weeks, or just over, like 16 weeks, or I'm sorry, 16 days. And then that would give me plenty of time to do the front bands, which are actually like, I think they're worked bottom up, and then they're seamed in the back and attached to the sweater itself. Anyway, they're narrow, but for some reason I feel like they are going to take me a while. So if I stick to my plan of 25 rows a day, I should be in good shape. And then that was rows not counting the difference in stitch counts. So like when you are at the cuff, my size starts with like 30 stitches that you cast on. And then when you're working the body, it's like 130. So obviously 25 rows here is not the same as 25 rows here. And I knew that. So I told myself, you know what, that's fine. I'll just work like 50 or 75 a day when it's narrow, so that when I get up here, if I don't get my full 25, it's not gonna like totally muck up my plan. It's not going to totally, oh my gosh, I'm like trying not to. So that when I get up to here, the magic of editing is going to make it so that you're like, why is she being weird? But I'm just falling apart slowly over here, and it's fine. More stitches. So the other thing is that on the weekends, Friday and Saturday are like my work days. And I told myself that on those days, I'm only going to work on my business. So that's going to exclude knitting stuff by any other designer. And so I'm a little off schedule, but I feel like I made some pretty good progress in the last couple of days. Anyway, with all of that said, let me show you where we are, because I feel okay about the timeline. Because today is the 20th, 21st, and this needs to be completed and blocked and dry by November 14th. But I think I'll actually wear it on Sunday, the 16th. That's almost a full month, right? It's like 3.5 weeks, isn't it? I feel like that is plenty of time. And I'm, again, overthinking it. So let me just show you what I've got. Okay, I'm gonna start with the back. So I'm not doing this in order according to the pattern, because she has you, Andrea Mowry has you, this is a rose cardigan. Did I say that? This is the rose cardigan by Andrea Mowry. She has you knit each of the 4 panels, and then you block them to the schematic, and then you start attaching them. And I was like, nah, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and get started. And I did. And I love it. Okay. I'm also making a mess here, first of all. But I just can't help myself. I go a little rogue almost always. It's just in my nature. And I used black to seam it together with the 3 needle bind off. Hopefully that's on screen. And I love it. I love it so much. It kind of, because I keep calling this like my Monet rose garden, blah, 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 blah. Like I get really poetic about it. And I was like, well, you know what I could do is incorporate the black, kind of like a wrought iron fence. So we'll see if I do anything with that. It will really depend on where the time goes. And I just absolutely love how the high contrast looks here. The fact that it's like a solid color, I think, is nice. And I've considered using the black in another place. And if I do that and it looks good, I'll show you. And if I do that and it doesn't look good and I do something different, I will just tell you. But for right now, it's going to just be a surprise. But I got the back pieces put together. And then we have one of the front panels. Left front. And then this is the final. This should be the front right. Yes, and that does make sense. For a second there, I was like, oh no. Am I doing the left one again? Nope. Front right. Oh, I don't know if I introduced him last time, but this is Floof. Sorry. Oh, no, sit down, sit down. Floof was originally Albert because when I got him, he looked like Albert Einstein. He had this wild, crazy updo. And then he expressed that he only has about 2.5 brain cells that battle for screen time. So Floof it is, because I didn't think it was right to put him and Albert Einstein in the same boat. But he is so sweet and he's so gorgeous. Here's a gorgeous kitty. He's afraid of everything. Just a super scared cat. So we're very gentle with Floof. We mostly only see Floof at night. Because kids stress them out, which makes sense. They're wild, they're crazy, they're tiny. They do weird things. Okay, Floof, we're gonna move on. Anyway, so this is the final quadrant. And then there's, after I put them together, there are the cuffs and the bottom hem and the front bands. So I have about 90 rows and then another like 40. So it's at like 130 rows to finish this. And it's not too much. I'll be fine. I guess pray for me. Because at the rate that I consistently find myself sick, I'm gonna need some additional support. Okay, so I have, this is my second color, just my second color. And I caked up the first ball, which has done all of the other 3 panels and this panel up until like right here. And I was like, I'm really cutting it close and I don't know that I have enough to finish shifting into the third color. And I did not have enough, not by probably a total of 6 rows maybe. So I don't cake up a whole other skein for 6 rows of knitting. And while that is quite annoying, I'm going to just accept that now I have a skein of yarn caked up to use for something down the line, essentially. Not let myself be annoyed about it, because there are other things I could choose to be besides annoyed, right? Life is full of choices. Okay, the final whip that I have is a new design. And I hope you'll be able to see it because it's on circular needles and I haven't split for sleeves yet. Did I say that right? I haven't split for sleeves yet. So it's a little crowded, but I'm really, really excited. I feel really good about this. It's not like anybody else's sweater. It's, okay, let me just tell you a little bit about it. So it is some more Lion Brand Fisherman's Wool. I really like it. It's pretty readily available, relatively affordable. I would say, you get over 400 yards of a heavy worsted weight, 100% wool yarn for like $13 if you pay full price. And oftentimes it is on sale depending on if you go to the box store. Like I used to get it at Joann's. Obviously nobody gets it at Joann's anymore, but I think Michael's carries it and they put it on sale all the time. So check those places. I wanted not to just jump back into it, I wanted a V-neck construction because I don't have like any V-neck sweaters at all, I don't think, especially not one that I've knit. I wanted texture. I wanted Oh, it's just so good. Hanging on by a thread. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna show you the back and then I'll show you the front. Oh gosh. I'll show you each section. All right. Should I save that for that final? Okay, I will. I'll save that for the final. Okay, so it's like a compound raglan contiguous construction, if I'm getting all my descriptions right. And we have this like X's and O's cable that runs across the shoulder, and then it's going to continue down the arm. And then as you increase, we are increasing into a cable that's also on the front of the sweater and the back. And it's going to frame the X's and O's, which how this is working it for me, they don't really look like X's and O's. To me, it just looks like double X's. I don't know. Anyway, I will think about it and tell you what I think it looks like at a later date. But these fun cables, let me pull those little top. Like, how fun is that? So they're twisted, and instead of actually like twisting the cable, it like snakes, which I think is fun. And then the final cable, look at all that delicious texture. So that's on the back currently, and it's a V-neck, so it falls into place on the front. And currently it looks like this. Maybe I should scoot back a little. Again, it's crowded. But the top of the first of the diamond cables is coming into existence there. And I am very, very excited. So I'm really looking forward to when I get the increases finished so that I can put the sleeve stitches on hold and then have a better look at what this is going to look like. So yes, if this looks like something that you like and you might want to test it, go join my school group. The link is below. And then if you have any questions about it, leave those in the comments, and I'm more than happy to address them. Not in my next video, because that's going to be like a Halloween special. But in the next video, I will definitely answer any questions that you might have about this. And I need to come up with a name. Oh, wait. I think I have. If you want to vote on it, that'd be cool. I'm thinking of calling it the Aspen Pullover. Or maybe the Aspen V-neck. Oh my gosh, so many options. The world is my oyster. But that actually wraps up everything. I don't have any acquisitions, but I do have some more of this Lion brand wool on the way, the fisherman's wool, so that I can finish this because I only had one skein of it. I have more in the dark brown, but I was concerned that you wouldn't be able to see the motifs as well, and I didn't want to spend a bunch of time knitting the first draft of it and then have it not be visible, because that's not super helpful. So oatmeal it is, which is actually like my favorite color of theirs. I haven't played with the tweed yet though, and I do love tweed. Who doesn't love tweed? Again, that was the last thing I have to talk about this time. All right, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I really appreciate it. if you made it to the end. Again, consider subscribing. I would love it if you did, and if you stuck around for a while. Leave me some comments below if you have any questions about my new pattern. Don't forget that next Friday, October 31st of 2025, I have a Halloween special brewing, and I will be releasing my Charlotte sock pattern. And then I hope to see you back here real soon. And until then, keep knitting, and I'll see you soon.